This is Linda Sherman at Linda Sherman. I'm pleased to be here with Barb Dybwad, the at Dr. Paradox, and it's so gracious of you to take time to talk to us tonight. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, thanks for having me.
Can you please introduce yourself in 140 characters or less?
Sure, I'm a gamer, gadget nerd, social media enthusiast, digital nomad, citizen of the internet, and senior editor at Mashable.com.
All right, so you snuck that in there at the end. When did you get on Twitter, Barb?
It was right around the end of 2007. I typically attend the South by Southwest festival, but I happened to miss the 2007 year when Twitter got really big. So it took me a few months more to catch on to the fact that, oh, everyone I know is talking about this service, Twitter, and I'm definitely an early adopter with new tools. So I was quick to sign up, and sort of around the end of 2007.
Well, Twitter has certainly changed a lot since then. How do you feel about that, and how do you use the tool differently because of it?
I think it's for the better. I think there's a network effect that happens with a lot of these tools where for a lot of people the utility goes up the more people that they know on the site. And in the beginning it was mostly colleagues that I knew from the tech circle and industry, and I still follow a lot of those people and get a lot of utility out of the links that they're sharing. But I also find now that more of my personal circle that's not necessarily tech nerds, not necessarily following social media all the time, are now on Twitter, and I can interact with them on the service as well. And I like the fact that there's this overlap of these different circles of my life, and I don't feel like I need to separate between one or the other. I can interact with them on the same platform.
Great. What are 3 things that you would give as advice to someone starting out on Twitter?
I would say don't feel like you need to follow everything. Once you, well, first I would say find a few people that you think are interesting. You don't necessarily have to worry about whether or not you know them personally. Just if they're sending out interesting things that you want to know about, just follow them. And secondly, don't feel like you need to keep up with it all the time. I know a lot of people talk about, oh, I'm 1,000 stories behind in my RSS reader and I need to catch up for the day and spend 2 hours doing that. Twitter is very much low obligation. Whatever's coming through the stream, when you have time to pay attention to it, pay attention to it. And third, then do try to find the people that you actually know, because one of the most powerful things about Twitter is actually connecting with people. And if you can share it with people that you already know, it gives you sort of a leg up, and you get closer to that sort of aha moment where you really get what Twitter is all about when you're following people that you actually know and interacting with them.
Terrific. I'm sure you use more than one platform. Can you just talk about the different ways you use Facebook and Twitter?
I would say that although more of my personal friends do use Twitter, I do still notice a definite disparity between more of my professional contacts are on Twitter and more of my personal contacts are on Facebook. People that I knew from high school, for example, found me on Facebook. People from junior high, family and friends tend to use Facebook a lot more, and I keep up with it to interact with them. And Twitter is still, on the whole, primarily more of a professional thing. During my workday, I will be checking Twitter constantly, whereas Facebook is more at the end of the day. I might catch up and see what my friends and family have been doing.
Can you tell us about a memorable shared experience that you've had on Twitter?
I would say the Obama inauguration for me was one of those first moments where, I had already had a lot of aha moments where I really got what Twitter was about and where that power was. But to me, that event really brought home how, wow, almost everyone that I know, even people around the world, people who aren't even in the United States, were tuning into this event and watching it, sharing their opinions, sharing their emotions. It was a very emotional time. People were crying and they were tweeting about how they were crying, and that was really powerful. And having that sense of almost everyone that I knew sort of in the room with me, experiencing this event with me, even though I was sitting in my office alone watching it stream, that was a really powerful event for me.
That's a good point that you have about sitting alone while something is happening, because that's what often happens in an earthquake. And then you're not alone.
Exactly. You feel like you're in this community almost no matter where you are. It's almost like you're constantly in a room with the people that you know, and you're sharing thoughts off the top of your head, and when that connects with someone else, that's great, but you don't physically have to be in that same location, and you don't even have to be synchronously at the same time to share those thoughts and to have those moments of synchronicity.
Great. Is there one thing that you would like to plug?
I would, of course, love to plug Mashable.com, which is the blog that I write for. And if you do use Twitter, I would definitely recommend checking us out. Add us to your RSS reader, or come on and check the site. We don't necessarily assume a lot of prior knowledge. We want to describe all the great things that are happening on the web without inundating you with too much tech speak, and let you know what the coolest things are and how to get more out of the tools that you already use.
Great. Thank you so much, Barb. I really appreciate it.
All right, thank you.